Hello everybody. What's going on, guys? Hello. It is that wonderful time of the month now where we are live and hanging out. We are hanging out with Chadley, Corey, and Ryan, and we're gonna get talking about E3 this podcast, which I'm really excited because there's so much to talk about, so much happened, and I'm super stoked. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Hello guys, how's it going? How are you guys doing today?
I'm hot.
You're hot?
Yeah.
What's
not
new?
Just in the usual way.
What's new? I'm hot. I'm sexy.
Took me. I know. Took me a few years, but I finally made it.
It is a bit warm indeed.
It is. No, even today was really hot over here. You know.
I don't think it cracked 80 degrees here today.
Oh wow.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, but we got rain. It stormed all day. I mean,
Okay.
not stormed,
That'll
not
do
all
it.
day, but there was enough rain, and it was enough that it definitely kept our temperature down. It definitely didn't storm all
That'll
day,
do
but
it.
there was some storm. Yeah.
Let me just pull out my chat because I can't see the chat. There we go. That's good.
Apparently, Stephie's letting the dog, right?
Yeah, I see that too. Pringle will learn his keyboard one day.
Zozel to you as well. Pooch.
Zozel teeth. There we go. Okay, I'm good.
Was it over 80, Nick? I don't know. It definitely, every time I checked it, it definitely wasn't 80 whenever I checked it earlier. So,
Well,
yeah, it's definitely possible.
It's calmed down now. Now we're reaching here in Canada. We hit 100, and it was like that all day. But now we're down to about let's say about 80 as well. Well, again, it's 8 o'clock, so what time is it over there, Ryan, for you?
Alexa, what time is it? I'm drunk.
Good job. Good job.
100. It's 111.
That's what time it is?
That's what time it is?
No.
It's 111.
No, that's how many degrees of hotness you all are.
Oh man, what is even happening today?
I don't know. Chat. Wait, no,
The heat has finally gotten to him, I believe.
Chadley,
Yeah.
we're in the same time, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
yeah.
guys are.
Yeah.
So,
I'm in the same
In the
time.
future.
so
It was
as
about it got up to 88 for us today.
88, yeah.
It was 88 and humid for us, so it was pretty bad.
well, it calmed
Yeah.
down. Like here, it calmed down. So I'm really happy about that. Again, like I said, it's 8:40. So, anyways, let's jump into it. What's going on, guys? Let's go ahead and start with Corey. Corey, how are you, my friend? What's going on? Tell me, what have you been up to? What amazing, fantastical things have you been doing?
I mean, really, I've been playing a lot less games lately, and I'm doing a bit less streaming and finding time to actually like hang out with like real life friends and whatnot. It's great. Been working on losing weight, still going. But
Up the guns.
I've been playing some games and stuff here and there. Still been playing some demos. I played the demo of Monster Hunter Stories 2. I know Ryan enjoyed that as well. And just been checking out all these demos that have been coming out of new games coming soon and all. Stranger of Paradise and all that. Other than that, the usual stuff.
Oh,
Nothing
for sure.
special.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Chadley, what about you, great bearded one?
Yeah, I've been playing Crash Bandicoot, which that's like my first time playing that. So I'm on the third Crash game, and they're a lot of fun. Like I said, I never played them growing up because I never had a PlayStation or anything like that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun playing the remakes of those games. And also I've been on Twitch. I've been playing I guess it's the 2013 version of Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, not the real old Tomb Raider games, just the first one of the new trilogy.
Yeah.
That's a
and
good
that
one. I really like that
yeah,
one.
I'm loving that game too. That like just the cinematics and stuff in that game. Like, I can see the parallels between that and the movie that they released, because there's a lot of material that they used from the game in the movie, even though the overarching story is different from the game. But there's some stuff that they took from the game, and I could tell where they took it from, because I was like, oh, I remember seeing that. So it was kind of cool to see it was kind of cool to see the similarities of the game and the movie. So, but that's pretty much it. Still doing my cross stitch and all that stuff too.
How far are you on that now?
Yeah, how far are you on that thing?
I'm at like 27% complete. So
Yes.
How many days have you been working on that?
Today would have been day 129.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
27%. So it's gonna take a while, but it'll be so awesome once it's done.
Oh, for sure.
Rigo, we get it. You're attractive.
Oh, sorry. Anyways, Ryan, what about you, man? What have you been up to?
Oh man. Things have been usually, for the most part, the same when it comes to the streams. The only real change is last Thursday, Avengers and I started co-oping Resident Evil 6.
Okay.
And we're just trying to find time for that again when it works out for both of us.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. That game is a completely different experience when you play a co-op. Playing it by yourself, it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
But playing it with someone, oh my gosh. And then,
It's one of the only Resident Evil games I've played, and I played it co-op, and it was great.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's really fun for co-op. That's about it, though. Nothing new.
That's good. Yeah, no, I've been, so I got back to streaming with my brother recently, and we started on Dark Souls 3 again. So for now, I'm just doing the Tuesdays, but I'm getting used to my new schedule, and I feel good. So I feel that I can finally add a Friday in there, but I haven't done it just yet because I'm trying to make sure that it is correct for me to do Fridays. Other than that, nothing really too hectic has been happening. And then, as you guys all know, I got hurt at work today, so that's been fun. But right now I'm
Fun.
at yeah. But right now I'm at my brother-in-law's house where he's lending me his room, hence why there's a pillow here. Okay, the truth is
Oh, I thought that was for after the stream.
well, see, you gave it out. The truth is I'm at Ryan's house and this is his bedroom.
It wouldn't be the first time I gave it out, so there's that.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me get my list out. So, we're just gonna be chatting about E3 today because there's just so much to talk about with E3. So, first things first, I really want to just talk about E3 in like a whole. So, E3's come and gone. Let's chat about in general, overall. How did you guys feel E3 did this time? Were you happy with it? You think they could have done better, or were you like me, where it kind of came and went really fast? You didn't even feel it. So let's start with Corey.
Well, so on one hand, I'm like you, where it kind of it snuck up, it was here, and then it kind of, I mean, I worked, the whole time, so I was kind of catching glimpses, and a lot of the stuff that happened, I mean, some things were on the weekend, but like a lot of it was on the weekdays while I was working. But overall, I thought it was really good, especially for, obviously for the last year and a half or so, we've been having a crazy situation with the world, and so games have been slowed down in some cases and stuff. So I think overall it was good. I was happy with it overall.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Chadley. I was gonna say
his name?
I was gonna say the great bearded one.
Oh my gosh.
So like Corey, like I only got glimpses of everything, mainly because I was really only concerned about Nintendo.
Yeah.
I don't have PlayStation or Xbox, and like some of the other stuff like Ubisoft and Square Enix, like when they did their own things, like maybe Bethesda, because did Blizzard do something too? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I don't
That
think they did.
right
Did
there
Or did
tells
they?
you how E3 was.
they? Yeah.
That says a lot
If you
right
can't-
there.
I can't even remember. So, but yeah, I mean, Nintendo was really the thing I wanted to see. I really wanted to have them show more information on Breath of the Wild 2, which they did.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I didn't even feel the need to go back and really research much of E3. Like there wasn't a lot out like that interests me, I guess. And maybe that's just because I'm not like big into Sony and big into Microsoft, Xbox, and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the only other stuff I'd be interested in would be like anything PC related, really.
For sure. Well, as
So-
and I don't think they did anything because normally PC, there's always like a PC group, but I didn't see that
There
in the
was.
list. Was there?
There
Yeah.
was a PC gamer day, but or like an event, but it was kind of a mess. It wasn't.
It was a big mess.
It was like before, because that was before E3 like officially started. I
Oh,
yeah,
think it was like the day. It was the day.
It was
before
on the weekend and stuff
E3.
before. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So it kind
PlayStation,
of got lost and everything.
yeah, and PlayStation, of course, they said that it's irrelevant now to go to E3, so I think they're gonna do their own thing, but I don't know when. They
Okay.
haven't said anything. What about you, Ryan? What are your thoughts over E3?
I don't think it was the best E3 ever. I thought it was pretty mediocre overall, honestly. But I think it was that way intentionally. I mean, the last year things have been so crazy with the pandemic and everything.
Yeah,
They don't really have that time. They didn't want to whip out all the big guns and show off everything on the slow year.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I agree.
Some of
with
it
you.
was. They did have some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. They showed off some really cool stuff. We'll probably get to that in a bit. But on the whole, it was kind of lackluster.
Yeah, no.
Nothing really.
I can agree with you with that for
Yeah,
sure.
most of it was stuff we already knew was coming out. They did show here and there a new thing, but I swear I saw the Monster Hunter story stuff like 3 different times.
Oh,
yeah,
boy, definitely.
This game that was announced like months ago that I saw like probably 2 weeks in advance on a Capcom showcase. Then I saw it again on the Capcom showcase for E3. Then I saw it a third time on the Nintendo stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, guys, stop beating this dead horse before it comes out, please. I want to enjoy it.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Again, I was still kind of disappointed. Again, like I said, new stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
But they could have done a little bit better, but I see why it wasn't the best.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree. Like, I wasn't in awe this year with let's say what is it called? Microsoft. Usually, I want to see what they're showing, but
That's the state right here where he couldn't even think of the name.
And turned into an Italian for a second.
but I wasn't looking forward to watching them. And then Ubisoft, I got used to them always showing the same thing. You know, your what's that one game with the jungle? Far Cry, your Just Dance. So there was nothing really that like.
And I hope we talk trash about
Creed
Far
and
Cry.
all
That was
that.
one of the few good things.
I'm not trashing it. I'm just saying that like I'm so
Right.
used to them just showing
So
that.
they're like yearly things that you know you're going to see something about from them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and then-
so it's never really like exciting.
Although Square,
Shun's
I feel Square is picking up slowly with their presentations. They've been showing some really nice games, and I think hopefully by next year we'll be getting some pretty badass trailers from them, because I don't know what Square's doing, but they're doing it right. I have to say they're doing it right.
They are.
And Nintendo, I'm probably gonna be hated, but I feel that it wasn't a great a Treehouse E3, whatever you want to call it, for them. You know.
How dare you, Seth? You must leave
Ladies
now.
and gentlemen, ready your forks and your pitchforks and torches.
Yes.
I don't feel like
This is why.
I
This
don't.
is why he had to do it from his brother-in-law's house.
Yeah.
So that we wouldn't know where to find him.
I don't feel they dropped the ball, but I feel it wasn't like yes. It was just more like okay, cool. I think the only game that caught my eye that I was like, okay, this looks interesting. I'm not gonna lie, was the Monster Hunter game, because I was like, okay, you know what? Every time they show it, I kind of want to play it now, because I've never touched the
Free
Monster Hunter.
demo.
Yeah,
Free demo. I milked 3.5 hours out of that thing.
Yeah, I got 4.5 so far.
And your
out of
progress will carry
And-
over to the main game if you choose to get it.
and for sure, the Breath of the Wild stuff really, I was really excited to see what they showed, and I was happy with it. So, but nothing made me jump, because the first thing they opened with was with you know what? We'll get to it when we get to it.
I'm gonna voice some disappointments in a few minutes, I tell you what.
Yeah, for sure.
it. Well, you what?
Boy, I tell you what, Bobby. Okay.
That's part of it, Stephie. Stephie's stealing it from me.
And why is Fatal Frame not coming out this month? Ubisoft E3. Your thoughts. So let's get down to it. Let me get the list, because I had a list.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I did too. I had to pull up a list just for some context for everybody. I was telling Rigo earlier. There's been so many game announcements between E3 and you know all the other announcements or whatever. I couldn't even keep up. I was so overloaded that I could not even come up with a single game from these that I was excited for. But I am very excited for many of them. When I pulled up the list, I was like, oh right, I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for that one. I just forgot that they announced all these things.
Yeah.
And it's so overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Did you want to start, Corey, or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Ubisoft, I don't have a huge list. I mean, I just kind of, there's a couple of ones, like Riders Republic actually looks really good. The one that's a different, the snowboarding, is it snowboarding? It's like biking, it's a bunch of different sports and all that. It's supposed to be like a big, massive, not an MMO exactly, but it's gonna be like a lot of people playing together though, really. So that actually looks really good. Mario and Rabbids, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the first one for a while and then kind of got bored of it, but I'm definitely going to pick this one up because they have a lot of entertainment value in them. And then the Avatar game, I was super excited when I saw. I don't know what it's actually going to be like or how it's going to play, but it definitely looks like it's something that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's my list for Ubisoft.
Mr. Chadley, what about you, buddy?
Pretty much the same as Corey. The Avatar looked pretty interesting. And Mario plus Rabbids, I did play it and I have the original, but I didn't get really very far in it because it seemed like it got very difficult quick. Like, I don't know, maybe I just don't understand that style of game because maybe I'm just not used to playing it. But the first one seemed to get very, very hard. So I kind of just like dropped it. But I mean, the trailer for this next one was hilarious. I mean, it was so funny to see all the new characters that they're bringing in and all the Rabbids that are taking likenesses of the the Lou.
I was not ready for that.
Yeah, and just it's always great to see like which characters they have the Rabbids play as in these games. So
Rosalina one and all.
yeah. And then like I was trying to see if Just Dance was coming to the Wii still, but apparently
I was actually waiting for
that
that too.
Every time I see a new Just Dance, I'm like, I don't care about the game. I just care to see if they're still bringing it on the Wii. So,
they announced that the last one was the last Wii game going to be ever produced.
Yeah, I think 2021. I think was the last time they were going to put it on the Wii.
Rest in peace, Just Dance.
Yeah, Riders Republic. Yeah, the Riders Republic looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
And then I saw. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Brawlhalla, but I'm really liking the fact that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting like all of this attention with crossing over to a bunch of different stuff. Like, apparently the TMNT characters are going to be thrown into Brawlhalla.
Oh, really? I
Oh,
missed that.
I didn't see that.
That's exciting. I like that game. I play that one.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's just neat to see all of this attention being brought to and it's not just TMNT in general. It's like classic TMNT because like we have Arcade 1-Up, with the arcade cabinets, and they just announced the new one too. They just announced it's basically the same arcade cabinet, but now it has the Turtles in Time art instead of the original art, and they're adding Wi-Fi to it so that you can play the arcade with other people that have the arcades and stuff too. Yeah, that's what they're doing with all. That's what they're doing with all their cabinets. They're basically re-releasing the cabinets, but just with different box art, and they're throwing in the Wi-Fi that they had. I think Mortal Kombat might have been the first one that they put in that had the Wi-Fi capability, or maybe it was NBA Jam. But now they're just basically going through their catalog. They're re-releasing a bunch of the cabinets with Wi-Fi, and some people are actually getting upset by it because they're like basically re-releasing it the same thing. It's just now you can play online and stuff. But anyway, and then we also have the which I was hoping they would show more of this game too, was the TMNT Shredder's Revenge. I was hoping that we would see more of that at E3 too. I know it's not related to Ubisoft, but now that we're talking about TMNT, it's like there's like a whole bunch of stuff about TMNT that is being brought up now, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's cool. Like it's
which
nice.
TacoCast member is which turtle?
I don't know who I would be.
Master Splinter, duh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
What was I gonna say, Ryan? What were your thoughts on Ubisoft?
So, Just Dance is dead, and I'm very sad to see that. It was.
Wait, they announced a new one.
Nope, it's dead. It's not on the Wii anymore.
Okay, I see.
It's over.
It's a dead game now.
Lost for a minute there.
What man would want you now? Just Dance. Mario Rabbids, I never really got into the first one. So, again, the second one, it still looks awesome. I know people are going to enjoy it, definitely. I'm glad it's getting a second one just because it was so popular the first time around. So, good on that one. Far Cry 6, oh my gosh. I'm so hyped for that one. I love Far Cry. Love that franchise. They're beautiful games. They're just so gorgeous. Like, I played through Far Cry 3. This game came out years ago. And it still holds up. It's still gorgeous. The Komodo dragons will still scare you. Absolutely check it out. You can get it for like $5 now.
I had a question actually about the new Far Cry. The villain, is he the guy who played the bad guy from Mandalorian?
Yes.
It is, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was looking at him. I was like,
that's what kind of sold me on Far Cry 6. Honestly, is that he's the main villain.
And he did a good job because I love him in Mandalorian. And then when he showed up for this one, I was like, yo, you want to hate him, but he's like, you want to know more about him.
I did not like Far Cry 5 that much just because it took us away from the whole Far Cry 3 was set on a tropical island filled with all these like dangerous animals. Far Cry 4 was set in like the mountains of Nepal, also filled with dangerous animals. Far Cry 5 was set in the backwoods of Montana. That's a weird place to set your game after the last two. This one is set like somewhere in South America, and it's going to have a lot to do with like, you know, drug cartels and stuff. So it's already sounding a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah, it's sounding already a bit more interesting to me than 5, so I definitely want to check it out. But seeing him as the main villain, knowing how great he can pull that role off is just looking forward to it.
And you know what? I agree with Run. He was saying how people were complaining about the character models, and this was like a video, wasn't even like the main game, and I felt the models they were using, they felt kind of pushed back. I don't know, maybe because the game's gonna be really big and extensive, but the character models felt kind of on the weak side, you know.
Well, I mean, Far Cry is really a first-person game.
Yeah.
So they don't put that much effort into designing a character you're never really gonna get a good look at, but still.
Exactly. And yeah, I agree, Run.
I think it's kind of neat how they're doing the villain. I'm curious about the villain season pass thing. Mostly because you get to play as Voss and dude in the pink pimp suit. That excites me.
Old.
And you're also getting Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon in the season pass as well, which is just a love letter to 80s action movies.
Yeah, I played that on Xbox One or something when they released it on like Game Pass.
Yeah, I remember they gave that
cool.
for free on PC, but I don't remember why they gave it free. But I remember getting it.
I don't know. Like they just throw they sprinkle Blood Dragon everywhere they can. They just, like, and here's Blood Dragon, and here's Blood Dragon, like all over the place.
Do you guys remember Blood Dragon? I remember.
I remember Blood Dragon. Make a sequel to it. You made Far Cry Caveman people.
Back for Blood Dragon.
Yeah, Back for Blood Dragon. There you go.
Yeah. Wait,
crossover.
That caveman one was pretty good. I heard. I never played it, but it looked really fun.
I never played Primal either.
Me either.
And then, as far as Avatar goes, that game honestly to me reminds me so much of the upcoming Harry Potter game. Just because it looks like an incredibly fun, incredibly cool game that I'd love to play with other people.
Yeah.
It's like...
Let's just hope they don't pull a Harry Potter and say there's no online for your friends.
Right? Like, they haven't said anything yet. That would be so cool if you could just, like, go online together and just fly around on your little alien dragon things and shoot arrows at space helicopters. I don't remember the plot of Avatar, so it's like, you know, I assume that cool things happen.
Yeah, it's about avatars, you know?
The Last Airbender. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong Avatar.
Remember
I was so mad
Earth,
about that.
Fire, blue people.
Blue people, yes. Oh, there were blue people over Avatar. But again, that game, it looked gorgeous. It really did look beautiful.
Yeah.
And I would be excited to check it out. Definitely sold on it if they go out and confirm it is multiplayer.
Exactly. Yeah, basically everything that Ryan said is what I was gonna say anyway, so I am excited for Avatar. That one caught my eye. I was like, okay, that one's catching my eye. I never played Rabbids. I was never interested in it. I don't think I'm gonna pick it up. So that was kind of just tossed aside. And then again, Far Cry was one that caught my eye. I saw that bad guy and I was like, okay, this is really interesting. I think we have something nice here. Overall though, Ubisoft wasn't disappointing, but it wasn't like, yeah, hype. It's just like, you have some games that are piquing my interest, and I think that's enough to say, more or less. It's
nothing you're really sold on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, they did a good job. Let's jump into Xbox and Bethesda. So that was new. Bethesda and Xbox, like, in one instead of just separate. Obviously, we know why, but... So let's jump into your thoughts. What were your thoughts, and how did you feel about it? So Corey, go ahead, my friend.
So I thought Xbox's one was actually pretty good. Just to name a few things, you know, there was of course Halo, Forza 5, Starfield. Finally, we get some stuff about that, and Back for Blood, of course. We've been talking about Back for Blood. Basically, enough of these games. These games were enough that I went ahead and ordered an Xbox Series X, and I'll have it on Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, again, was their E3 presentation like phenomenal, off the wall, ridiculous, or anything like that? No, but it was good enough, and I enjoyed what I saw. And that was just a small handful of the games that I'm thinking of. So, wasn't there supposed to be a new Halo? Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah, the Halo Infinite. They showed us more about that. They showed us we get it this year. We're getting it this year, and it's got free multiplayer and stuff. So that's gonna be all pretty cool. So, yeah.
All right, Chadley, what about you, my friend? Did you look into Xbox stuff by any chance?
Maybe 5 minutes ago. No, I mean, I'm just looking at the list of games that they showed off and stuff in the segment that they had. I never played Psychonauts, but the Psychonauts 2 actually looks really good. Like, it kind of reminds me of a style. Well, I mean, it's the same style of like what Spyro and Ratchet and Clank and like all those types of games. Where it's
more
like
or less,
third
yeah.
person, yeah. But it looks really good. I mean, the graphics and visuals look really good in that game. I'm not much of a racer, but man, Forza 5 is like ridiculous. It's so realistic looking.
Yeah.
It's like every iteration of that game just gets more and more realistic. It's crazy. Because they were showing comparisons of like the 360 and the Xbox One, like from Forza to Forza 2, and it was like a huge jump just between those two. And then just seeing how 5 looks is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yet, like, I'm not into those games, but otherwise, I mean, it looks beautiful. Other than that, I don't really know much other. I mean, like Doom Eternal, I guess they're doing another DLC or something for that.
Yeah.
But that's on PC, so it's like I can play that on PC. Like most of the stuff that they showed off, even though it's coming to Xbox, it's going to be available on the PC too. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on a whole lot because if I ever get around to playing the games that they showed off, I can still do that without having an Xbox. So
yeah, exactly. But what about you, Ryan?
I can't believe y'all didn't mention their greatest accomplishment of E3. Among Us is getting 15-player lobbies, people. Was Among Us real? Did Among Us happen? Was it just not a fever dream? Like, I don't know at this point. I don't play Among Us.
Never happened. It never really existed.
Okay, it never really existed. Psychonauts 2, oh my gosh, Psychonauts 1's phenomenal. If you ever get the chance to, play it. I have no doubt Psychonauts 2, like one of the most anticipated games I can think of. Absolutely super hyped for that one.
Did they do a remaster of the first one?
I want to say they did.
Or at least like a re-release of it, I think
they
for
did a
PC
re-release.
or something.
I'm sure it's available on Steam, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Or something.
That Sea of Thieves, Pirates of the Caribbean crossover thing, that looked really cool. Like,
yeah,
just
it did.
Jack Sparrow's always an entertaining character to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the character right there. It's awesome. I know there was... Didn't they mention Outer Worlds too? I never played Outer Worlds, but I'm happy for the people who were excited for it. Back for Blood. Do you know how many like of these multiplayer, just like horde shooter games are coming out within the next few months? A lot. Back for Blood looks like the best of them, but still, there's so many coming out. They're just like cranking these things out. Diablo 2, I've never played any of the Diablo games, so I'd be excited to check out Diablo 2 with everyone in an 8-player game.
8-player games, yeah.
Yeah.
Get it on
Oh my gosh. All of us get it.
We're gonna have TacoCast that are just gonna be us playing Diablo.
All of us playing Diablo 2. There we go.
Right?
What?
And then
the remake of Diablo 2 has 8-player multiplayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
PC and everything but Switch.
We'll just do a special TacoCast. No news, strictly Diablo.
There you go. And then the other one that kind of took me by surprise and I'm very intrigued by is Redfall.
Oh yeah.
where like that vampire, like everyone has like superpowers and you're fighting these vampires with these over the top weird crazy weapons. Again, that's gonna clearly be one of those co-op shoot up the horde type games. But I'm interested in that one. It looks really cool from what we saw. Just like, let me magically manifest this elevator for my sniper to get up really high. And
Yeah. Do it.
I know I said that I wasn't that excited about E3 this year, but dang, I keep finding stuff that I'm like, actually, wait, that was cool. I look like a giant hypocrite. Oh, and then there's the sequel to A Plague's Tale. That one's gonna be cool too.
Which one?
Yeah, and
Plague Tale. It's like the first one is. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Sort of like it's about the Black Plague almost, and you were this girl trying to like protect your little brother as these knights are hunting you type deal. And they're just making a sequel to it. It's a very beautiful game, and it's just awesome, well acted and everything. So I'm excited for a sequel too.
nice.
That's awesome. See, we're getting a lot of games.
Yeah.
I don't know why I saw the Jack Sparrow thing for Sea of Thieves. I think my brother-in-law is actually playing it because I keep hearing him fighting with his friends about the Black Pearl and the Black Pearl, and actually they abandoned him, and he's like, now I feel like Jack Sparrow. You guys abandoned me. So I think you're playing it, right? Yeah, he's playing it. But yeah,
Nice.
so I want to check that out because I have Sea of Thieves, and the game is really good. But I play by myself, so that's why I could never get into it because I'm always by myself.
Well, Rigo, let's play. I'll play it with you.
There we go.
I like it. Every time I play with people, they always want to like go hunting after other people and PvP it up, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either.
Time.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. I want to go treasure hunting, man. I want to be rich.
That's it.
Psychonauts 2, again, it looks awesome. So yes, I did look up, and they are making a remastered version of the first one. So
Oh, nice.
that'll be good. But the first one was awesome. I really enjoyed that game. I was young when I played it. My brother bought it, and I was about like 16, 15. So it's been a while since I touched it. I'm excited about Diablo 2 because I never played Diablo 2. I watched my friends play it, but I could never get into it because I thought it was a weird game, blah, blah, blah. I don't know anything about it. But I think now that they're remastering it, it'll I think I can get back on that. And then as for Halo, I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of excited to play it because I recently finished playing Halo 4, and I really enjoyed playing it again. 5 I couldn't get into, so I stopped playing that. But I hope this one does a good job. I know that Rich from Review Tech was saying that he's kind of disappointed in it. I can't see why, but I guess I'll have to go back and watch it. Because, like Chadley, I just finished watching it 5 minutes ago. And that's really all. Like, Forza Horizon, I only look at the pictures because, like, it's like what Chadley says. It looks so realistic. And I've never played any of the Forza games. My son plays them, but I never did. And I'm more of I like to look at it, and I think it looks gorgeous. It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game, for sure. Other than that, nothing really else caught my eye that I was like, yeah, I'm excited. They did okay. They did an okay job. Wasn't great, but they did it. What?
Elden Ring?
I didn't see that. I have to watch that. My brother-in-law was saying Elder Ring, but I don't know what that.
Oh, Elden Ring.
Elden
looks really
Ring.
good. I forgot that they. Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. Nothing too crazy. Again, I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't feeling super excited about Bethesda and Xbox. I don't know. Like I said, this E3 wasn't. It didn't call to me like it normally does. Let's jump into Square Enix and your thoughts on them, because I was actually, before we started, guys, we were talking, and I was telling Ryan and Chadley and Corey that Square Enix is picking up, man. They're doing a really good job with their games, and I think they're the ones to watch for next year. You know, they're doing a really, really good job. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Corey, what about you, man?
Square Enix was a really good one. I really enjoyed that one. Guardians of the Galaxy got shown off, which looks really good, except it's a single-player game, and that really bothers me.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't know that.
That is, yes, it's very annoying that it's a single-player game. However, I'm still going to pick it up and play it because it looks fantastic, but I want to play it with my friends. The problem I see with it being with the potential for it to be a multiplayer game would be we'd have the same issue you have in the Avengers game where you can literally only play one character at a time, like one of each character in your party at a time. Except for there's special events, right? Like where you can have multiple characters, but you can only have like one Iron Man and like one Black Widow and one Captain America. So like if your main character is one of those and someone else's main character is one of those, like you have to duke it out to see who can be that and who gets to be a level 1 something else, you know?
Yeah.
So that would be like my issue. I imagine it would go that same route if they went multiplayer on this. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. The Stranger of Paradise is basically Dark Souls, but Final Fantasy. And that makes me very happy because I do ultimately like Dark Souls games. I'm just not good. I don't like being bad at them and then having to repeat hours of progress constantly, and you know what I mean. That whole concept for me, I normally don't care for them, but this I think I'm really gonna enjoy it. Mm-hmm. The Avengers, they showed off the Black Panther DLC and like their roadmap and stuff, and that looks really good. Me and my friends still play that every time they do new stuff for Avengers. We always pop in and play it for, you know, a couple days and get through that stuff, and so I'm excited for that. And then there's this random weird thing, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters.
Oh yeah.
They're doing pixel remasters of Final Fantasy 1 through 6. Only on Steam and mobile, first of all, at the moment. We don't know what pixel remaster means, so that annoys me. It will give away your IP address with the last patch. I think they fixed it, and also it was on screen. It's not like it's just giving it away to everybody. Like if I was playing it with somebody, they didn't get my IP address. If I was streaming it, they would have my IP address. So yeah. But yeah, and then yeah, so those I'm really curious about those Final Fantasy Pixel remasters and if we'll ever see them on consoles rather than just Steam and mobile. Mm-hmm. I mean, we will, but more like when. Yeah, and like what does Pixel remaster mean? Like they didn't tell us. They just said Pixel remasters of the first, you know, the classic Final Fantasies, and then they just moved on. I'm curious. I want Final Fantasy 6 on the Switch.
I guess time will tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure I could say more things, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Chadley, what about you, buddy?
Again, 5 minutes ago, just looking through, seeing what was all there, because I really didn't look into the Square Enix. I did see about the Pixel Remaster, which I find is very strange, because especially on mobile, because you can get all those games on mobile now as it is. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't know that.
I know. I have 6 on my iPad, and it's already
3,
like pixelated.
3 got a nasty looking mobile port to begin with.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people are already complaining about how that looks and stuff. Yeah, and I think like 2 and stuff then, already. So yeah.
Yeah, and then Steam got a bunch of the mobile stuff too, because they just ported the mobile games over to PC. And they still had like the crappy controls built in, like they didn't even strip the mobile controls out and all that kind of stuff. So, and the UI and like the nasty UI and stuff for the mobile games was still there too. But because I remember 6, it's basically untouched. It's 6 just with some mobile usability and stuff. So I don't know what the Pixel Remaster is gonna do because it's already there. Like it's already out. Like what else can they do to it other than, I guess, properly upscale it? I guess, I don't know. That's why it's confusing when they say Pixel Remaster, because it's like there's only so much you can do to pixels that were 16-bit back in the day, and bringing it up to like 1080 or even 4K is pointless. So
they're gonna Pixel Remaster into 4K. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's not going to look any different. So, I mean, but I don't know. But I mean, maybe it's just that it's titled that because they're incorporating all 6 games into like one bundle. And that's just the way they named it, you know? Because you said if they're remastering all 6 of them, Maybe it's because they're including all 6 into one bundle.
That's yeah.
And this is just the way they named it. So it's very possible.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
That, or they're just gonna milk us and charge us for every game, you know.
Yeah.
And just say you buy each game separately.
$60
buy
each.
which games you want, but it's a whole collection of games. But you can buy however many you want. That thing, but. It would be smart. It would be smart since they are older games. They're already available in other ways.
Yeah.
To just have it all be one big collection of the first 6 games.
Yeah.
I feel that would be a good thing. But other than that, like, Life is Strange, I'm not. They're doing like a remaster of that, I guess, and it's going to be a collection of that along with the additional side stories that they released.
Y'all sleeping on Life is Strange, I tell you what.
Yeah, it must be. It's just never interested me.
I've watched a couple of people play it, and that's the one where it's like it's one of those choose your own adventure type things, right? Because you make decisions, and then as you make decisions, it changes the story as you go along. But then when you play it again, and you make different decisions, like the story changes, right? Pretty much.
Sort of. Yes, exactly like that. But they're very different, each one. Like in the very first, every game, basically, the character will have like some sort of unexplained power. In the very first one, your character can sort of manipulate time. So it's like you make a decision, you're like, oh, I actually don't really like that outcome. Let me rewind and make a different choice. You can do it to an extent, and that's just in the first game, though. And there's obviously like very major choices that you can't rewind past. This new one that's coming out, your character is like empathic and can sort of, I guess, read the moods of people, which can give you the idea of, okay, how do I approach this conversation with them to get the outcome I desire? Because I can't just rewind time if I don't like the answer. What I choose sticks. So it's just like, you know.
Turn back time.
But yeah, again, I definitely say check out Life is Strange. First episode's free on Steam, by the way, if you want to ever give it a go.
We're all just like,
Everyone.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm streaming with a bunch of Minecraft villagers.
Oh god.
Dressed up as an Enderman next TacoCast.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on Square Enix E3?
Well, I pretty much just talked about Life is Strange and my opinions of that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Life is Strange True Colors. Definitely excited for that one. The Guardians of the Galaxy one looks really cool. And I know, like, just hearing that, Guardians of the Galaxy, that seems like such the perfect match for a multiplayer group game.
Yeah.
But I kind of like what they're doing with it. It's like, it's different, but I like it. You're just gonna have to you get to order them around. It's like, Rocket, go shoot this. Groot, say I am Groot type deal. And your interactions, the way you talk and the relationships you build with the various characters is gonna reflect outcomes and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. Very different, though. I don't know. I'm definitely interested in getting it, though. Strangers of Paradise. I didn't play it on easy mode, Corey. Just so you know.
That's for you.
Yeah, sucks for me. Yeah, that's right. This sucks for me. That was miserable. But no, it's definitely a very fun game. My only issue with it is the protagonists. Like, let's look at Final Fantasy protagonists past. We got Squall Leonhardt. We got Cloud Strife. We got characters like Sephiroth and Tifa and Jack. Just Jack. Just Jack. Okay, Jack, what makes you so special? I'm gonna kill chaos.
I came here to kill chaos.
Okay, Jack. What are your motivations? Kill chaos. Really, Jack? Why do you want to kill chaos?
Chaos.
It's like he seems like such a pretty bland protagonist. I will say though, the memes that have spiraled out of control within Final Fantasy XIV about him are incredible. They're hysterical everywhere I go. I like the class changing of that game.
Yeah.
It felt very smooth. It was really cool to just get to play through as all of them. And I know during the main game, like, I would have more freedom to go around and grind and collect more stuff, so that the boss fight like that wouldn't be as just awful for me.
Even on easy, that was a pretty awful fight. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
He wrecked me pretty hard the first
it's
time.
a brutal fight. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's Garland though. Come on.
Yeah.
Can't just be a pushover.
No, he can't. No. I've been fighting in Final Fantasy XIV for the better half of a decade. For over a decade now. Avengers, I didn't really get into it. I never really had a chance to play it. Black Panther stuff, though, that's pretty hype. That's pretty cool.
And it's free.
And it's free?
DLC.
Oh, I didn't know that it was free.
Yeah, all the DLC's been free, and it's
Oh,
gonna be free.
cool. Even when you get to play as Eminem,
Yes.
bow and arrow, awesome. Awesome. That's just what I looked like when I saw Hawkeye in that trailer. It's like, oh wow, are you playing as Eminem with a bow and arrow? That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Square and Marvel. But, you know, unfortunately, I don't feel like Square brought as much to the table as the rest of them, but it did bring quality with everything it brought.
They let me down by not showing Final Fantasy 16. By only mention, well, they showed it at the very end in their B-roll at the end where where it was like a quarter second. I mean, that was enough for me to be hyped, but it was still very disappointing that they didn't show any more about it, talk anything about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Rigo?
Well,
Tell us, man.
honestly, I didn't even know Stranger Paradise had a demo, and I feel really bad that I missed it because, from what I'm hearing, I really want to try it. Like, I want to see this, and then the fact that even everyone is calling it a Souls-inspired game gets me all hyped. It's nice to see another game come out like that. So I want to try it. I'm excited. I really am. The Guardians game, I was at first really excited, but as I see and hear things, and I've been watching a lot of different trailers, I'm kind of dumbing down a little bit because I was like, this deserves to be, a co-op or an online type game, and the fact that it's a single player game, kind of like,
it reminds me a lot of Mass Effect.
Oh, okay.
Where you have like a bunch of these different characters, but it's still a single player game, and it's all about the relationships you build with those characters.
Yeah.
That's how it came across to me.
And then the other one that I was looking at, this Babylon's Fall.
Oh yeah.
Kind of. I see that it's a co-op action game, so I'm kind of interested to see what they have in store for that. And then obviously we have the Avengers thing going on, which another one that I've never got. It's Avengers. I want to try, Now, Life is Strange, I've never played any of them. I think I tried the demo way back when they first released the game. I remember they released a demo for it, and I got to try it, and I liked it. I don't know why I never got into it. I don't know.
Probably because it was one of those episodic games where it was like, okay, here's episode 1. 2 months later, here's episode 2. 2 months later, it's like, those games are tough to keep up with.
Yeah.
By the way, True Colors, the one that's coming out, is going to be fully released on release.
But
it's not going to be episodic.
It's episodic, but it's going to be released all together, is what
Exactly.
they say. So it still keeps the same format, but they're just giving it to you all at once rather than making you wait for it, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
It is. Oh my gosh.
Now, I just
if it was episodic in that sense of waiting a month between every episode, I don't think I could keep up with it.
Yeah. Well, I watched you play it, so I kind of got the feel of and the gist of it all. So that's probably what's gonna happen. I'll probably sneak in and watch whenever I can. I mean, that's probably all because the Final Fantasy Pixel it's something I'm not interested at all. It doesn't even, not even a little bit. And then the Final Fantasy 7 stuff. Again.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did a good job though. Like I said, Square Enix is definitely one of those that we have to keep an eye out. I feel their they're coming off really, really awesomely. I think they're the next. They're gonna be the next developer that everybody's gonna want to go run to and figure out what do they have for us, like how Bethesda used to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the one that I know a lot of people have been waiting for.
Stadia.
I was about to say
Yeah.
that. Nintendo's E3. Your thoughts on Nintendo?
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's lots to talk about there. Let's go ahead and start with Corey.
So I've just compiled a small list of a few games that I am rather excited for.
And then like a giant, he like pulls out a giant list and just like rolls across the floor.
So WarioWare, for sure, is one that looks. I've confession, I've actually never played a WarioWare game, but they've always looked really good, and I've always been interested in them. This one is now it's coming out on a console that I have access to, and and I have interest in it when it's coming out, so I'll be picking it up and checking it out. Advance Wars, I love the Advance Wars games back when they were on the Game Boy Advance and all. Super excited for those. The new Mario Party coming out, Mario Party Superstars or whatever it is, where it's or All Star, whatever it is, the dang Nintendo name and stuff. But it's like mini games from like past games and stuff like that, right? Isn't that what it was? Something like that. So I think it looks cool. I think it should have been DLC for the current Mario Party, but then they would have a lot harder time charging $60 for it. So I'm still pretty excited for it overall. I think it's pretty cool. Hopefully they're gonna have all online and everything, with them. The Breath of the Wild 2 trailer was really cool. I was really into that. And then there's Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread actually looks really good. I am a huge fan of like the 2D Metroids, and so I'm very excited for this one. I managed to snag a pre-order for the collector's edition of that, thankfully. So that one's, I'm really excited for that. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other ones, but that's my list. That is my list.
Awesome. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, Chadley. What about you, buddy?
I mean, half of it was stuff that we already knew about. That's the one bummer of their show. A lot of the games, like we said earlier, like there was a bunch of games that were shown off like a month before E3, and then 2 weeks before E3, and then at E3, multiple times at E3, because like Mario plus Rabbids was mentioned in Ubisoft's presentation, but then it was also mentioned in Nintendo's presentation. So I was like, okay, obviously we got our new Smash Bros character, whatever, like yeah. I'm over Smash Bros. Like I'm not really that interested in it anymore, and they just, the character was cool. They keep throwing in really cool franchises into it to add new characters and adding the possibility of adding more characters from that franchise into the game. I guess we still have one more character in the battle pass that still needs to be revealed, I think.
Yeah.
And then that battle pass will be filled, and then do we know if that's the last one, or are they going to do another one?
Didn't they initially tell us that the last battle pass was like the only one, and then they came out and were like, hey, by the way, another battle pass. Nobody's like complaining.
No.
I'm doing what Stephie said.
Yeah, they're either just going to keep adding characters to it so they can keep making money, or they're going to just come out with another Smash Bros. Game to keep making money. So, Metroid Dread, though, that was quite amazing. And I think it'll do very well, and I feel that it's a good thing to have people wait for Metroid Prime 4. So it's definitely something that's needed in the Metroid space, because we've been waiting forever for Metroid Prime 4, and this is just going to help people be even more hyped for Prime 4 when it comes out. Yeah. Because it's going to keep Metroid fresh in everybody's mind.
Although I imagine...
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just to say, I imagine that Most people aren't thinking about how, the two games are made by different teams and are probably mad that we're getting a 2D instead of Metroid Prime 4.
Gotta run, enjoy the rest of your stream. Purple
and
heart,
this
purple
one,
heart,
even though it's
missed you
2D,
guys.
primarily 2D,
Keep up the great
there are
work.
sections of it that are meant to be perceived as 3D. I mean,
Yeah.
it's obviously rendered. It's obviously rendered in 3D. It's just a side-scrolling camera, but they even had it where they showed certain sequences where the camera is no longer the traditional side-scroll camera. So they're even kind of mixing that up too, to just to give you a variety of camera angles when you're playing the game. Advance Wars, never played them, even though they look interesting. I've never played them, so I may check it out, or at least watch other people play it so they get a little better understanding of why they're so great. Warioware is another one. I always found that game to be very wacky and goofy, and I know that's what it's supposed to be. Never played it, so again, it's one of those where I'll probably check out somebody else play it before I consider getting it.
Sure.
And those are all. Is that all single? No, that's right. They did add 2-player. There's 2-player co-op in this, for the mini games and stuff. But I don't know if it's
Advance Wars, I think, has online. I think
okay.
now.
Yeah. So that might be cool. Is play those wacky mini games and stuff with somebody else. Yeah, Mario Party Superstars. I was confused about that one. But I guess again, and they did, like you were saying about it being online. They did say that it was going to be fully online.
Did they? Okay.
For Mario Party Superstars, yeah, they said it was going to be fully online. There's also the Super Monkey Ball that they mentioned, and Fatal Frame. So I know, pretty sure Rigo's a fan of Fatal Frame. So. But this is just a remaster of an existing game, right?
It is.
Yeah, one we didn't get.
Blackwater.
Yep.
The what?
I said one we never got here in North America.
Oh, that's right. It was released in Japan, but never here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, we got Zelda. So, I'm still,
Zelda.
I still feel bad that they didn't do more for the 35th anniversary. Like, we're getting a Game & Watch, and it's like, whatever, I mean, they did it for Mario, now they're doing it for Zelda, and
yeah.
But what people really, really wanted, they're just, they're not going to do it. So they're not going to come out with a triple pack like everybody wants them to for the old Zelda 3D Zelda games, unfortunately. But yeah, Breath of the Wild was like amazing. Like, so many fan theories again.
Yep.
I've been watching like almost every single video of like the people that had all these fan theories for the original game, and now there's just like so many. It's like such a wide spectrum of theories now because we have 2 teaser trailers for the new Breath of the Wild game, and it's fun to watch them just because people just go off of just like one minute detail and they can spread it out for like a 20-minute video just explaining why they think the game is going to be like this because of one little snippet of the teaser trailer.
Yup.
If you look at this scene at exactly 0.01 seconds, you see what looks to be an upside down image of Midna's helmet. This confirms.
The game explained, and they'll have the video out 30 seconds after Nintendo already like showed the video.
Yeah.
Like they'll already analyze it thoroughly that quick.
They did. It's a miracle. They're geniuses. Ryan, what were your thoughts on Nintendo's E3?
So they showed off that Monster Hunter Stories stuff again. Like, that was just the big cash cow. All of E3, I feel like, got shown off everywhere. Warioware, definitely interested in it. Glad we're finally getting the Mario Party we deserve on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like, this is... Congratulations, this is what the original one you gave us should have been. Let's see the show. Fatal Frame, I'm very hyped for. I love Fatal Frame. Danganronpa, which they're giving us that whole collection of Danganronpa games, aren't they? Those
No,
games
they're
are
not
all
giving us it.
they're selling us it. Sorry, giving us to it in exchange for our hard-earned money. How's that?
There you go. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Oh boy, we're getting Just Dance though. But Metroid Dread, oh my gosh. Inuyuki brought it up. This is the first 2D, quote unquote, Metroid game, original Metroid game in almost 20 years. They had some remakes of some older ones, and I actually did play the remake of Samus Returns.
Yeah.
And I could very clearly see in this game how they took what was in Samus Returns and just fine-tuned it, turned it up. It looks great. Oh, I'm excited for Dread. I really am. Like, that was my biggest hype of E3 because I wasn't expecting it. I was not at all expecting a Metroid game, especially not that one. So,
and they also said that this was the last game in this storyline too.
Oh wow!
So that Dread is like the final. It's the finale of the 2D storyline. So
Very
yeah.
cool.
Nice.
yeah, I
realize
agree.
that.
It's not Prime 4. I love the Prime series. Oh gosh, Prime series is great. But it's what we need to tide us over until Prime 4.
Yeah.
Again, for a period of time, Dread was the highest selling game on Amazon. Which goes to show people do want Metroid games. Oh, I'm excited for that. Anything else in this? I mean, I think we talked about pretty much everything else appeared before.
Yeah.
We talked about it before. Yeah,
Yep, for sure.
that's about it.
So I wasn't really like when they started and they showed off the new character again for Smash. I was like, oh god, like this is not what I want to see. But I got really hyped when they showed the Metroid game. I got to play Metroid on SNES. That was my first ever Metroid to experience, and I loved it. I never beat it, but I did really enjoy it. So I think I'm gonna pick this one up, and it looked really good. It looked really fun.
Good.
The Wario stuff. The game looked fun. It looks funny. It's not a game for me, but I would definitely enjoy watching somebody play it. Hands down, definitely one of those games. The Mario Party, like Ryan said, that's what we deserved. That's what I was expecting to get for a long time, and looks like we're finally getting it. Breath of the Wild. I was excited. I got what I wanted. I was hoping for a little bit more, but more or less we got a nice look at it, and I'm happy for that. There was one game that kind of piqued my interest, and that was No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, No More Heroes is an awesome game series.
Yeah, I've never played them, and I keep hearing good things about them, so I really want to try this one. And then, how do you say? Oh man, I don't even know how to say this game. Shin
Megami Tensei.
Yeah, that game. That one looked really good. I think I would enjoy that game. I only watched my nephew play it, and he really loves it. So I'm really excited to try this one out for myself.
Did you play any of the Persona games?
What's that?
Did you ever play any of the Persona games?
I did, yeah.
Persona is in the same universe as Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, okay.
Technically, Persona I think is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah. I mean that won't make much of a difference. They play, they have their own gameplay styles and stuff, but it is just a cool fact that if you enjoy those, hey.
Yeah.
Persona has danced the night away.
that they do.
But excuse me, they did a good job. Now, in my opinion, I wasn't like blown away with Nintendo. It was like a meh, but they didn't drop the ball or anything. It was just kind of like, oh, okay. But they did a good job. I like I said, I'm done with like Chadley said, I'm done with the Smash characters. Like there's so many. There's only so much I can take of Smash.
Doesn't even matter anymore.
They just add Freddy Fazbear already and be done with it.
Yeah, exactly right. I wouldn't be surprised. All of a sudden, it's like, Five Nights at Freddy characters. You can stick them inside you and chop them up in pieces. So bad. But overall, yeah, it's Nintendo. They did a good job. So okay, let's go to the last one. Overall, if you had to pick a quote unquote winner of E3, who would you pick then? Ubisoft, Square, Microsoft, or Nintendo?
I think this is actually kind of hard because I think with the current status of how everybody did this year, honestly, to me, I feel like the Xbox and Bethesda event, the Square Enix event, and the Nintendo events are all pretty close with the same hype level to me. They all had really good things for me that I enjoy, and they also threw out some things I didn't care about, some surprises. But I would say personally, I think Nintendo took it away. But I think it's to me, they were all, those three were pretty close.
Okay, Chadley, what about you, man?
I agree. I saw something afterwards where they showed some numbers of viewership for all the different ones, and Nintendo was obviously way more hyped. People were way more hyped for the Nintendo presentation over anything else, because it was 3 times as high as the next
This is my
event.
shock face.
Yeah, so obviously, everybody wanted to hear about Zelda, and that's probably why a lot of people tuned in on the Nintendo one. And I feel that because they delivered on more Zelda news, and that's what everybody was. That's really all that a lot of people cared about anyway. And then obviously they sprinkled in some nice little things that people weren't expecting too. But yeah, I feel just because of the hype level and the fact that I feel they did a pretty good job, even though some of that stuff was recycled.
Yeah.
I think overall, I think Nintendo did the best, but I agree with Corey that it was close. It wasn't like Nintendo overshot in their performance of the video of their direct, but yeah, I just feel like they just one-upped it a little bit more than everybody else.
For sure. What about you, Ryan?
I went into this thinking Nintendo was the way I was going to go, just because I was so hyped. Metroid Dread was the hypest part of E3 for me. That was the biggest reveal for me. But after looking through everything again, taking that second peek through it all, I think I gotta go with Square Enix, actually. Just because it's everything Square talked about releasing looked awesome to me. Looked hype. Nintendo released, some stuff I was really hyped for, like Dread and Fatal Frame. But it also released a lot of stuff that I just didn't care about.
Yeah.
Every single thing Square Enix brought to the table is something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
None of the other ones really brought anything like that.
And
is it fair to compare it that way when Nintendo showed off triple the amount of things that Square did? Is it
quality over quantity?
Comparison? Well, no, but everything that day, everything they showed off was stuff that you are super excited for, which is what caused them to win to you. But versus Nintendo showing some things that you were super hyped for and some things that you're not, but they showed a lot more. I'm just being devil's advocate here.
Tell Nintendo to bring better stuff next time. They could have won. Like I said, I went into this thinking Nintendo was going to be my winning choice, but it was only going to be the winning choice because of Dread and Fatal Frame.
Yeah.
That was it. Whereas
Square has nothing for me.
Yeah, whereas Square, they have Strangers of Paradise, they have Life is Strange, all of these games that I'm super interested in, Guardians of the Galaxy, sort of interested in Avengers too, everything.
Yeah. and that's how I feel. I feel that in this one, Microsoft didn't do anything for me. It was more Square and Nintendo, but Nintendo didn't give me what I was hoping to see in games. It was more, meh. But I was excited for Metroid and I was excited for Breath of the Wild. I got the 2 games that I got excited for. But I feel that Square, I've been pushing them. I've been saying, I'm really impressed with what they did this time. They weren't great, none of E3 was great, but if I had to pick a winner, I would say that Square definitely did a really good job this year, and I feel that they definitely they have something to bring, and they're bringing it. So that's just me, though. That's just me. But again, I'm not even putting Microsoft into this. I feel that they didn't really peak anything that I wanted to see, and I think it's because it's games that I don't play at all with them. Versus, I always play. There's a lot of games that I play with Nintendo. There's a lot of games I play with Square. So I think that's what happened. But overall, yeah. Chat. What about you guys? What were your thoughts? Who did you think won E3 for you, or do you think that it was just meh for you? Guys, thank you for joining. This is gonna be a quick one. It's time for bed. But
we're all old men here.
I know, right? But I want to thank you guys for taking your sweet time to coming out and joining us. Chat, thank you all for joining us. Don't leave yet, chat. We're gonna go on a raid. I found someone that I want to raid that I haven't raided in forever. Thank you all for joining Chadley and Corey and Ryan. Their links are in the description below. Definitely go check them out. They're super awesome. You're gonna love each and every one of them. And like I said, I really had fun with the conversation. Thank you guys. I super appreciate it. So we're gonna go on a raid, and we're gonna use hashtag TacoCast raid. So please grab that, and we're gonna go raid one of my good friends, Beautiful. I haven't seen him in forever,
Nice.
so I'm super excited.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and let me unmute him. Looks like he's playing Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
So let's give him a hashtag TacoCast raid.
That game looks amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the graphical style. Like, I've never played a Guilty Gear game, but is every Guilty Gear game that way?
Yeah, they all have that same kind of art style and stuff.
Yeah.
Where they just look really good.
Yeah.
And again, that soundtrack is just beautiful for this game too.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks beautiful. I wish I could show you
looks
guys what we're.
beautiful.
It looks
It looks beautiful. I wish.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, guys. Thank you again, guys. Super appreciate it. Make sure you guys go hit that like button for him. Give him some love and support. I super appreciate it. And we will see you guys next month for another TacoCast. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday on Twitch for some Dark Souls. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one. And don't forget the most important thing in the whole wide world. Come to my live stream. I'm super famous. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.